Good morning, everyone, and welcome to day 19 of Vlogmas. What a day yesterday was. I'm still feeling very worn out and tired from that whole thing. And I thought, it's still kind of early, so I don't know how much my thoughts are gathered, but I thought I would just take a second and kind of touch on this a little bit. So we had a visitation for my grandfather yesterday at the funeral home. There isn't going to be a funeral service or a memorial or a celebration of life. I guess in the spring, we're just gonna do a thing where we do something at the graveside to inter his ashes. I am kind of having a hard time with this. I feel like my grandfather was 96 years old. He had lived a very full, long, and good life. And I'm kind of having some issues with this idea of there not being a way to celebrate that. And I tried to go into this visitation with an open mind. Maybe this is going to be exactly right. And this is going to be just the right thing. And it'll be a great way to talk to people and share memories and share those stories. Because for me, that's a lot of what funerals and memorial services are, is an honoring of a person's life, the sharing of the stories. I mean, when you think about it, when you go to whatever you want to call it after someone passes, be it a funeral, a memorial, a celebration of life, it's kind of all of those things, right? Funeral just kind of has a negative word or a negative connotation to the word. You're all there, and the common thing that has brought every single person into that room is the person that you are there to honor, right? And so then not having that piece of it was odd to me. And I felt okay, well, this visitation, let's go into this with an open mind. Maybe this is going to be all of the right thing. I enjoyed my dad's visitation quite a bit. My mom's was a little different because I was not okay. I really was struggling. I felt so alone in my grief. I felt very much like my grief was not being acknowledged or recognized by anybody. My mom hadn't just died. It was just some person. And so I had a tough time with my mom's. But even still, there was a chance to tell the stories, to hear the things that people had to say about my mom. My dad's even more so, to hear the stories about my dad. And I loved that. And that was very healing for me in many ways. That didn't happen with this visitation. Nobody really shared stories about my grandpa. It didn't feel much like it was about him at all. And that was a little strange for me. Yeah, it was just a little strange. And I mean, I'm fully certain, or I'm hopeful anyway, that other members of my family did get a lot out of it. And if they did, then I'm really, really glad that they did. It was just, for me personally, it wasn't the closure that I needed. And I feel like the same is true for my kids. I don't feel like they really got the same thing out of it. And so I'm trying to figure out, how do I honor my grandpa? I don't know yet. I know when my grandma passed, I really didn't like the way things went for her. I did not like the way that minister conducted that funeral. It was upsetting in ways because it was very untrue to my grandma, and it didn't really respect her as a person. But I guess that's what happens when a misogynist does a woman's funeral who is a strong, independent woman. So maybe that's what happens. So in honoring her, I started my granny stripe crochet blanket because my grandma crocheted. I'm not sure what to do for my grandpa and how best to honor him. So I need to think about that a little bit, but I do feel like I need to do something. It's a weird thing because he was 96 years old. His life was complete. He was so ready to go to be reunited with my grandma. He'd been ready to go. So it's hard to feel like sad over the death. Obviously, I will miss my grandpa a lot. He was very much a solid figure in my life. For me, where the grief is starting to come and where I'm having the difficult time is just this feeling like it was the last tie into my family that I had. I mean, I know, like, I have a pretty close family and I'm close to my aunt and my cousins, but it's not the same because they're their own unit. You know, my cousins still have both of their parents still alive. They still have each other. You know, neither one of them is developmentally disabled. And I just kind of am feeling adrift. And now it's just my kids and I, and that's it. And my tie is gone. My connection to my family is gone. I feel like my grandpa was like the last person that I had left that was very solidly in my corner and would have my back. I don't feel like that anymore. And that's a little bit disorienting. And I also felt through a lot of this that I also was having a lot of the grief from my mom come back up. And it was already there and bubbling on the surface because of the time of year. But this brought it out even more. So that's kind of where I am at as I'm talking about this and what I'm emotionally going through this time of year with my own grief, with processing all of it. It's still being processed. I am so far from in a good place with any of it. But that's where we are at. I'm gonna stop talking and edit the weekend's vlog and get that up for you all. And today is gonna be a slow day because I'm dragging, but I will check in later. Oh my gosh. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna work on getting my truffles coated, my second batch. My first batch is totally done. My second batch just needs to be coated. Like, all right, we're gonna get that going. I had to run to the store this morning. I had to lay down and rest because I was just, everything from the weekend was a lot, and yesterday took a lot out of me. So I'd done those things. Oh my goodness, had a horrible time editing and getting the vlog going this morning. That took forever. Then I had to run to the store because they didn't have some things for my grocery pickup on Saturday, so I had to try to go get those. And then after everything of the weekend and going to the store, I was like, all right, I gotta lay down. So I laid down to rest, and then I was like, all right, let's get these truffles going. I have time before I have to get the kids. They're doing team pictures today after school, so there's like time. And I was like, all right, we'll get these going. Of course, I get the chocolate melted, start doing the truffles. Abby texts me, shoot, it's at the middle school, it's not at the high school. All right, I have a ride, I'm good. All right, so I'm good. So get going, coating the truffles. Get about halfway through and then feels like I need my suit because the kid didn't bring his suit for his team pictures. So I just had to run up there to get those with him, and then my chocolate hardened and I've got to melt that again. So I'm trying to get my truffles done before I have to like go get them for real. And then Abby is driving tonight, so I get to sit in a car and wait for her to be done. So I'm like trying to get this stuff done before I can't anymore. And it's like such a gray, gloomy day out. I'm just like, it's fine. It's the week before Christmas. Chaos ensues. Okay, we were doing day 19. It's Philip's day. He's very excited.
Ow. Wait till you get this one. Mouse, it's a mouse. It's not good. It's a duck, Mommy.
It's not. It's probably gonna be a duck.
So you can put this. I get it.
Oh, it's Pluto!
Yeah.
He's cute. All right, there's day 19. Day 19. We're almost done.
So close.
So close.
Yet so far.
Indeed. 19. Timberline.
I think
I think it's gonna
brown.
be that like green,
maybe a little bit of blue.
like the piney blue. I think.
The cat.
Could be some brown too. I like brown because we were kind of going into brown in yesterday's. So, ooh, that's a really pretty green, and it definitely has the blue carrying through
And
it,
the green and like the brown
and some
not
browns.
Green. It is green.
We days are long, and we're not done yet. Abby has to go drive.
It's fine.
It's
fine. Okay, what do we think is gonna happen?
I think it's Slytherin.
I'll go with potions.
I'm going with Slytherin.
Okay.
That's the right one, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the right one. It's not Slytherin.
No,
It's another mischief managed.
not Slytherin.
Did I say the right thing? Yes.
Yes, you did. So we got 2 of those. Looks like we got 2 of the spells.
Well, one was the Marauders map.
Oh, I solemnly swear I am up to no good in this. Oh, okay, yeah.
Well, I think like one of them was like the Marauders map.
No, I think it was I solemnly swear I am up to no good.
Maybe.
We'll figure this out later.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
All right,
Okay.
so we are done with day 19. Wish us luck. All right, back home. Abby got through her drive. It was her first time driving at night, so that was a little bit nerve-wracking for her, but she seemed to do fine. So that's done. 2 more drives left. We can be done with this, which will be really nice for a lot of reasons, but it would be nice to have this one done. So we're done with that. We're back home. I did manage to get everything I wanted to get done with my truffles, so that was good. We got that accomplished. Let's see what else. Had dinner, opened our advents. I got some knitting done in the car while I waited for her, and now I am ready to call it a night. So thank you all for watching. I hope everyone has a really good evening, and I will see you all tomorrow. Bye.